A young nigga look like a bitch. I got the pussy nigga stick. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know where this came from. It reminded me, I went to this sports camp when I was like, I guess 14, and it was like, it was a religious camp, but they like, it was a sports camp, but they like tied in God to it somehow, where it was like, hey, you know, go do your sports, and like, because I was on the hockey section, we go play hockey, there's a football section, basketball, everybody broke and did their shit, and then they came back and like gave us some half-assed Bible study of like, you know, you gotta work as a team, just like Christ in Matthew 6:10. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. But there was this this kid, but for some reason they let a kid with Down syndrome into the camp. He wasn't like running around doing anything bad, but every day at lunch, him and his handler, who like helped him out go to all the different sports and whatnot that he could participate in, would sit down with him and be like, now you have to eat all of your food before we can go. You have to eat all of your food. And the kid would always be throwing a fit, not wanting to eat it. And one of the days that the handler was like, all right, you're not getting up and you're not going to play basketball until all of this food is done. And it was like a chicken patty fried and some green beans. And he came back later and the kid had eaten all of it and was like holding his stomach, like, making noises. And you look at the chicken patty, the outside is completely crisp, like a chicken breast that's fried should be. The inside is 100% pink rare chicken that she made this kid sit there and eat over the course of like half an hour. He just wanted to go play sports. He was like, no, Alex, you're going to eat your chicken or you can't play basketball. So she made this kid with Down syndrome eat a bunch of raw chicken, and he couldn't end up doing anything because I think he got salmonella.
I hate her.
He died of the salmonella.
He passed away, you know.
Just so bad. Does any other organization produce worse garbage?
Nursing home.
Okay.
All right, well, checkmate.
It's just a matter of being better packaged.
Every once in a while, there's a person in there.
It's real interesting to see the difference between people who are okay with getting made fun of and people who are obviously not, but pretending that they are okay with getting like, I love it. I absolutely love getting made fun of like this. Can't you guys understand that? Okay, man.
Yeah.
I love that I have a small dick. I tell everybody. All right.
Did he do that?
I don't think Wings pretends that he's okay with being made fun of. He pretty clearly says he wishes it would stop.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wish it would rain chocolate. Can't always have what you want, man. Like life's life. I'm trying to find this guy's username that wanted me to fat shame him on the show. But I've got.
We were talking about fat shaming.
Yeah, I've got this guy's picture. He asked me on Reddit. He's like, "Hey, will you fat shame me?"
Yes.
And he wanted me to fat shame him. Send me a photograph, and I will fat shame you live on the show next week. And sure enough, he's got six. Those are teats. Okay.
I think I saw him in Total Recall.
He has 6 teats, and he has a very fuckable belly button. If I do say so myself.
It's a Zoidberg body, just
You sir,
so mean.
This is the kind of body that makes it so that you can never enjoy the pool or the beach. This is the kind of body
Can you
that
hold
makes...
it up again, Kyle,
yeah,
so we can all see this as you're giving your commentary?
Yeah. It is absolutely disgusting. You have to do something about this. And you look pretty short, so I don't think you've got a long way to go. I feel like if you just curtail your diet, stop eating so many any pizzas and fried chicken and burgers and French fries and sodas, you wouldn't look like this. When I tilt it like this, you kind of look like Jar Jar Binks. Anyone else see Jar Jar Binks? Look at the nipples or his eyes. The belly button is like the tip of his...
I see
Oh,
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Me so fat.
Do like a
that
face
3D
recognition
poster
app.
before.
Misa no get pussy. Bro, come on. Fag-a-muffin. If you want to send him some
He's owning that
encouragement.
Oh my God.
You want to send him some encouragement. Just be fat Nazis and let him know that you don't want his kind. They're ruining your country. And there's a final solution for them if they don't lose the weight.
Yeah, man, instead of a meal, just have a cigarette.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Not only is it an appetite
Not a good
suppressant,
one.
it raises your heart rate, right? Hey, look, there's so many people who smoked for decades and decades and didn't get any kind of cancer, right? It's not. People act like cigarettes are plutonium, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody who gets exposed to plutonium gets sick, right? Only a handful of cigarette smokers. Everybody smokes. Back in like the 70s and 60s and stuff, everybody was smoking. You ever see those guys in Nam everybody's got a pack of Luckies puffing away. They didn't all get cancer. Just, maybe 5-10% or something like that. Just the weak ones.
5-10%? Where are you
I
getting
think
these numbers?
I'd be one of the weak ones.
I'm making them up, Peyton.
It's times like this that I remember my mother watches the show.
Every once in a while,
pussy.
my mom or dad will be like, "Oh, I was listening to this," because my dad texted me the other week, and he was like, "Arian Foster, huh? That's awesome." And I'm just like, "Oh no! Like, what did I say that episode?" Or my mom will be like, "I listen to the show sometimes. It's fun. It's very dirty." And it's like, "I know, Mom. It's not meant for you. It's all right." But Woody's parents, or your mom, genuinely listens to every one of them.
She does, yeah. She watches most of them all the way through. Sometimes she'll look at the description and pick off her favorite topics. But yeah, she's one of the viewers. She's not a Patreon, though.
Come on, sign up, all right? Not only do you get to watch an extra hour of your son, who you abused so horribly as a child,
Christ.
but you also, if you ever have someone that you want fat shamed, we're here for you, and that's how we're going to facilitate that from now on. All of our $10 Patreons, you send us in a photograph and a little blurb about yourself. And
if she becomes a $50 a month patron, I'll become a Christian for her. Is it worth $50 a month to save my soul? I don't know. You be the judge. Where they talk about how much they loved being molested. I actually liked it. Father John had a great cock, and he taught me how to suck cock well. I don't think any of us smoked, though.
It depends. It depends how you smoke. You've got to. I don't smoke.
You certainly did for a while.
Yeah.
Like a decade.
I certainly did. But I had a method. I wouldn't allow the smoke to go onto my face.
Wow,
that's long lady cigarette holders.
Like your fucking Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a hat with a veil on it. For
Absolutely.
Your beekeeper's outfit.
Yeah, I absolutely. I am vain enough that when I was smoking, I would be like, oh, well, let's not allow the smoke to like in movies you'll see guys with like their face is just covered in it. It's like boiling up over their faces. They're smoking. It's like, no. Get that away from me.
Well, at least you looked cool smoking.
Those little fans.
That thing that like fucking moms are bringing to swim meets, up there. God damn.
Actually, guys, I smoke in my asshole, so I don't get the face anyway. I don't get the smoke near my face.
I do all my nicotine intra-anally.
Ooh. You think that would work?
Well, yeah, you just take one
I can only
pouch and you just put it right in your asshole.
Right up there, huh?
I know when I played hockey, like I had friends who, like, we were like 15 or some shit, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'll get in trouble from coach if I have dip in when I'm out there skating," and so I pack it around my toes. I was always like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, I pack dip around my toes." So I'm like, "No, Jared, show me." Like, this is before a game. I'm like, "Show me what you mean." I don't, because I'm 15. I don't know. I've never dipped before, and they apparently loved it. And so he was like, "Yeah, just go like this," and he like took his bare fucking foot out, put it on the floor of this dirty ass hockey locker room. If you've never played hockey, it's the dirtiest sport on the planet. It smells rancid.
It's indoors, but people think they can spit. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty. I spit too. And he took like half a tin, half a container of dip, and like started like putting it around his feet like he was that guy on YouTube, Prehistoric Technologies or whatever, like making a brick, and he was putting it on his feet. And I'm like, "Yeah, but how are you going to get it in there?" And he's like, "Well, I got to put my sock on first." So he pulled his sock over this barefoot on a hockey locker room thing. Already, it's mushed all over the place. It is a dirty mess. It looks like he has orc blood and someone cut his foot. And then he pushes it into his fucking skate and proceeded to play the whole game. And like he played defense, and so like, and I played goalie, and he played defense, and so he'd like skate back, and I'd be like, "Jared, like, what? You still have all that shit in your skate?" He's like, "Yeah, man, like I'm buzzing hard," and I'm like, "Why do you do these things? Like, just get drunk like the other kids."
I kind of want to do this now. Like this sounds like a way to get nicotine. Like, what are you gonna get? Foot cancer? Get toe cancer? I don't think
Probably.
so.
don't know.
No.
Why
No.
would your toes be so much different than your lip?
They're hardy.
Jared went to prison 5 years later when we were 20 for selling large amounts of heroin.
Deepest
happened.
trouble. Tell us about it.
My deepest trouble. Oh,
One of
boy.
the deep ones.
Okay. So I like to just say funny things on Twitter, and I don't have a huge following on Twitter compared to like my YouTube or my Instagram. And it's one time a friend of mine, he posted a picture of it's pretty bad, but I'll still tell you guys. He posted a picture of him holding a dog like the Lion King, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And he goes Photoshop, do a Photoshop contest in which I go ahead and Photoshop him flying into the World Trade Center, and I instantly regretted it once I posted it and realized it was 9/11.
It was literally.
Yeah. Sorry,
It's like egg and nigga. It's
So-
a
It's
totally
the
different
same
word.
rhetorical trick.
so
It's
here's
like
the
you
thing.
added 2 E's as well.
I
Me?
thought Wonder Woman
I don't
was
know.
great.
That's the bad guy in Walking Dead.
I thought
My mouth is dry, face is numb. Nothing to it.